What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and it is June of 2024, which means we get a brand new hero of the month. It is AVIANA, so of course I'm gonna do a full breakdown and give her a grade. But first, download Bloodline Heroes of Lithus, a mobile RPG action fighting game where you can marry your champions to create new and unique hybrids. Use the link in the description to start with some free stuff, including gold and diamonds. See you hopefully soon. Alright, so AVIANA is a 5-star holy fighter, and I do really like this class. I think it is one of the better classes. And she's got a couple passives here. So the first is resist bleed damage. This character has innate resistance against bleed. I mean, that's okay. It's going to be one of those that people forget about and you don't really have to play around and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to have a huge impact. The next passive, mana on buff received. This character gains 5% mana when they receive a buff or positive stack. Now, that one does matter and it is going to have a big impact. And people are going to wonder why she's charging so quickly, as long as you put together a really good synergistic set of buffs and things. So that's one to certainly take advantage of in your team building. Let's take a look at the stats. 1001 attack is quite high for a hero of the month, and especially because we don't even have the max power preview on right now. 931 is the defense. That's also very good. And then 1582 for the HP. If I turn on max power preview, of course, the stats go way up to an absurd 1,493 attack, 1,272 defense, and 2,180 HP. Those stats look really good, and of course, you get the special armor if you limit break it there twice. So let's take a look at this skill now, Falcon Screech, which is average speed, and of course, it's really easy to make that a lot faster with troops. I definitely recommend making your heroes as fast as possible, and you can definitely do that here. Deals 300% damage to the target and nearby enemies. Don't usually love that, especially when we're talking defense. Like, the AI is just going to act stupidly and hit 2 heroes rather than 3 most of the time. But even when you're controlling it on offense, like let's say you've already killed one of the middle heroes or something like that, then you often are only hitting 2. But also there are ways to take advantage of this and hit more depending on the formation. So it is one where you just have to be a little more strategic. It's not straight AoE hitting everybody. The target nearby enemies are immune to new status effect buffs for 4 turns. Now this makes this a really cool toolbox type of hero, which means when you're going up against a team with a lot of problematic buffs, then you can bring her along and really try to prevent that from happening. That's actually really powerful. We don't see this ability a whole lot in Empires and Puzzles. We do see it once in a while, but to be able to stop a team if they're doing problematic buffs is a really important thing. The caster and nearby allies get plus 50% critical chance for 4 turns. That's just kind of cherry on top. That's really good, especially with the high attack, but also you can really take advantage of it depending on who you put next to her, who probably should be your big damage dealers. And lastly, of course, there's the elemental link, which gives all holy allies plus 5% dodge chance for 6 turns. This effect can't be dispelled, so of course this is incentivizing you to stack yellow heroes. Usually against the Titan, although this isn't really a good Titan hero based on the skill that we just read here. So where is this going to be good? Absolutely PvP on offense. So we're talking raid and wars. Events and tournaments and stuff like that, probably not, unless you get in an event or tournament that has bosses with problematic buffs. In that case, it might be okay. I mean, she does have a really high attack. So like there is an outside chance if you just don't have a big depth of high attack stat heroes on your roster, you can use that for events to do a lot of tile damage and against the Titan for tile damage. But it's not specifically a hero built for like events and tournaments and Titans, right? This is purely like PvP offense and not defense. So there's not like a whole lot of areas you can use her, but she can totally be a toolbox hero, like I was saying, where when you need to be extremely tactical And if you have the kind of roster now where you can pick and choose how to build your teams and you don't just go with the same teams every time, if you have backup heroes that you can move in and play around with, take down teams that other people might have a difficult time with because they have buffs that are hard to deal with, well, then here you go, right? And what's nice is it's preventing the buff too. So like you can get ahead of the other team rather than having to try and wipe it, because wiping the buff, clearing the buff away, it's not always possible. So, you know, getting ahead of it and trying to prevent it from happening in the first place can be really good. So I do think she has use, absolutely. And if you have a really deep roster, I think she's worth leveling and just being used as kind of like a backup hero, like a bench hero. Now, of course, if you're a newer player, absolutely, if you get this hero of the month, like you can level her up and you'll probably be able to use her in lots of different ways. Even the ones I was saying she's not built for until you get a deeper roster, of course. But yeah, I think she's good. But she is just going to kind of ride the bench. And for that reason, I'm going to give her a C+. Because to me, that's a hero that can be used sometimes. And of the sometimes, she's going to be good when she's good. But of course, there's just times you can't use her at all, and that's why she can't be anywhere in the A or B range. C+ is the best score that I can give her. Hey, as heroes of the month go, that's pretty good. We've gotten some really crappy heroes of the month the last couple of years, but I think that at least within the last 6 months, they've started to try and power up the heroes of the month again a little bit, even if it is just a little bit. So those are my thoughts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.